Now to the White House, and it's been a rough 24 hours for White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre. Let's see how well she went.
All of us saw what happened on Thursday, where he simply could not form coherent answers. Does President Biden, at 81 years old, have Alzheimer's, any form of dementia, or degenerative illness that would cause these sorts of lapses? And it's a yes or no question. And if you don't know, why don't you, as one of his senior staff members, know?
I have an answer for you. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
It's a no. And I hope you're asking the other guy the same exact question.
Well, the other guy wasn't an incoherent mess, Karine. That's probably why they're not asking that right now. That's how she handled that fairly tough question. Let's see how she handles this much softer question from a journalist who perhaps wants to create a narrative around cold medication interfering with the president's ability to think and communicate.
What medications was he taking in the days or hours leading up to the debate?
And I know that question has come in a couple of times to us. He was not taking any cold medication.
Was he taking any medication that would have interfered with his
He
performance?
was not taking any cold medication. That is what I can speak to. I've asked his doctor, and that's what he stated to us.
He was not taking any cold medication, but they asked about any medication, Ami. Does anyone in America seriously believe the president is not helped, not medicated to perform through certain events? Granted, that medication didn't do a great job during the presidential debate, but it's going to be increasingly difficult to undo the deterioration we see in the president with a cocktail of drugs.
Yeah, no, look, they're gaslighting us. That's what's happening here. There's obviously a split Democratic Party. You have the replace Biden crowd and the keep Biden crowd. And the keep Biden crowd, they have their marching orders. They've been all over the media. And they're saying things like he was over-prepped, right? They use that word. They say he had a bad debate performance. A bad debate performance? I mean, the Hindenburg was a gas leak. That's a similar comparison. Look, these are not the droids you are looking for. Yeah, that Jedi mind crap isn't working on us. We saw what happened. We saw the implosion. Look, Axios just came out with a report that said he's only engaged between 10 and 4. He's keeping doctor's hours. I mean, the Department of Motor Vehicles has longer hours than the President of the United States. This is a problem. And what this really did was it exposed the media carrying the water for Joe Biden. For years, they were testifying how competent he was, how we've seen him behind the scenes. He's in total command. They swore up and down that he was there, all there. He was fine. And look, if they didn't lose all their credibility during Russiagate, during BLM, during good people on both sides, they lost it completely now, Rita. It's unbelievable. And by the way, this also really puts into a different perspective the Robert Hur report. Like, now I understand fully why they're trying to keep that report, because I have no doubt that he was blathering incoherently during that entire time. Now we understand why they are fighting tooth and nail to keep it out. But I'll tell you this, if anybody out there thinks they're going to replace him, they are mistaken. They're not going to be able to replace him because the next in line is Kamala Harris, and they can't replace her because they screwed themselves on DEI. They brought in a completely incompetent vice president because she was a black woman, and now they're stuck with her. And if they do try to replace her with a white man like Gavin Newsom or Gretchen Whitmer, a white woman, they will lose their entire left flank. They cannot do it. They'll weaken and burning him if they have to. That's what's going to happen.
Unless they convince Michelle Obama, because she even outranks Kamala in those DEI points. But I'm with you. I think that's still a long shot. I know there's a big movement to make that happen, but I think it's still a long shot.